Hello everyone and welcome back to another Sims 3 speed build. Today we are working on a starter house. I believe it is the first starter house for the world that I have created, Stone Ridge Valley. If you're not familiar or haven't seen the videos yet in regards to that world that I was creating, there will be a playlist that you can go to and you can watch all the videos from the beginning to end on how this world was created. So that will be, of course, you can either go to my channel and just go to playlists. It'll be under, in that category, or I will have the playlist linked in the description below. So again, this is going to be the first starter home. The lot is going to be 34 Lakewood Drive. That's the name of the road that this house sits on. It is a 24 by 28 lot. And your Sims can get this house furnished for 15,731 simoleons, or if you did it unfurnished, it'll be 13,176. So I thought I did pretty good coming in under budget for this house. Unfortunately, I came in pretty close. Let's put it that way. I came in pretty close without having to use the game to my advantage to try to get the price lower. And I only did that because there was just a couple of things on the house that needed to be done that wasn't done yet. So, and I needed just a little bit more. And I didn't want your Sims to be completely broke when they got the house. I mean, they're still going to be pretty broke if you got it furnished, but at least they'll have a little bit, I guess, that they could go in, get a few things. But there's some stuff on this lot alone that will also help your Sims. Of course, all the houses in this world is going to be, at least the ones out in the country anyway, are going to be kind of self-sufficient, I guess you could say, because they're not going to have the easier access to a store in a town, depending on how you play, of course, in this world. The way I intend to play in the world, and kind of the way that I designed it to be played, is where there's no cars at all. We're kind of going back in time to where there probably would have been, you would have had your bikes that you could have had. Of course, bikes have been around for a long time, but most people would have had horses and carriages and stuff like that to get them around. So that's kind of the look I'm going for this world. So a lot of your country houses, so this one's going to be out in the country away from town. I believe this one is actually pretty far away from town, to be honest. This one, of course, you got to go over the river from the town to get out of town, but then you got to kind of go through the countryside a little bit to another bridge, go over that bridge, and then down the road just a little bit, and then there will be this house. This house will be on the side of the world that is going to have the castle that I plan on building. So it is quite a distance away from town. So this one will be a little bit self-sufficient. So you do have the pond there. I really do wish, or maybe you can, I just don't do a lot of the fishing in The Sims 3, to be honest. I've done some of the fishing just to try to get my Sims, because I do like to start playing. I prefer, I don't know about anybody else, but I prefer not to have, I don't like my Sims having a lot of money. So I like to play where the Sims don't have a whole lot of money and they gotta, get their own money in some way or another. So I've done a little bit of fishing in that aspect for them to get, simoleons that way, but I haven't done a lot in the way of the fishing. I usually have my Sims go about it a different way. Usually I do the gardening, so I've probably done more gardening or painting to get the money than I have so much the fishing. So I'm not sure. Let me know down in the comments below if you know. Are you able to fish? And then are your Sims able to eat the fish that they caught? I'm not sure if they can or not. Are they able to grill it out on a grill? I don't know. I've never done that. So yeah, I'm not really too sure on that. But like I said, your Sims will be able to fish. So I did put, a pond there. It is stocked with just kind of common fish. It's nothing special, just something common. And then there's an outhouse. So the house doesn't actually have a the bathroom is not in the house. And a lot of times out in the you know, out in the sticks, I guess you could say, or out in the country, however you say it, out in the middle of nowhere, a lot of your houses, they didn't have indoor, you know, plumbing. They didn't have the bathroom indoors. It was kind of a hazard back then, actually, because of, you know, houses would explode or buildings would, you know, they just weren't plumbed very good back then. So a lot of them that are just out here in the middle of nowhere had outhouses when, you know, when they were anyway getting toilets. So they were mostly outhouses. So this house has one toilet, and yes, your Sims will have to go outside to use it. You will have one sink. Unfortunately, with the packs that I'm using and stuff, I can't fully make it where there's no plumbing in the house. Like, your Sims can't go to the pond. I don't know. I don't think they can go to the pond and bathe. So, I mean, that kind of makes it difficult. I would like to make it where the Sims didn't have refrigerators or didn't have sinks and stuff like that, and really did have to use the water nearby to bathe and stuff like that. But unfortunately, I just can't get quite to that in detail, unfortunately. So in this house, they will have the one sink, as you can see. I do try to pick kind of one that might be a little bit on the older style of sink. And then, of course, you got your outhouse. Of course, the refrigerator, because, you know, the Sims, they just have to have it. There's not really much around. You can't really get around that. So the refrigerator's there. And then, of course, 2 countertops, hopefully. They should work. I really like the one countertop or the cabinets that I use. I find that they're very old-fashioned, but I also like the fact that the one looks like it has dishes in it. But the one problem I have come across with that one that's got the dishes, for whatever reason, when it is above a stove, the stove does not appear to work. So I'm not really sure why that is. I've never looked either if there's a mod out there that fixes that or not. But yeah, for whatever reason, it just does not work. So, but I don't have a stove in this house, so you shouldn't have that problem. I did put a grill out back for your Sims to use. I would think, I mean, I don't know if they really had so much in the way of grills back then. They would have done like a fire outside, you know, but I mean, it is what it is. So you just have to, I guess, use your imagination, or just kind of, you know, maybe they're a little bit more up to date with times and they have a grill. So I guess it's however you want to play. But yeah, I believe I also put, at least I'm hoping I did and I didn't forget. I'm hoping I put some plants. I have been putting a couple, at least, some starter plants for your Sims to start out with. For their gardening, so I'm hoping I did not forget. It's been a little while since I built this house. I want to say it's been a couple weeks, and I can't quite remember if I did or not. I do put quite a few trees around to help get it to blend in with the rest of the scenery. So yeah, but this house is currently in the beta version, but it is currently in the version for the Patreon paid members only, but it will be eventually free download. I'm not sure when exactly that's going to be released, but it will be eventually released to all the public, to anybody who is a free member and up. So if you're wanting to give this world a try, just go to my Patreon page. It is linked down below in the description down below, and you'll be able to download the beta versions as they become available to everyone that is a free member and up. So it doesn't cost you anything, of course, to be a free member. It's something new that Patreons are doing. I'm not really too sure how long ago, but it does allow you to become a member on my page, so you can follow me there and get updates and stuff like that, and it doesn't cost you anything. So go ahead and become a free member, and then you'll be able to download the free versions of this world as they become available. So this house was a little bit tough to kind of design. I wanted it to kind of have like the loft type of feel, but at the same time, when I was doing it, I just wanted it to be like a small upstairs loft-like area. but it just, as you can see, I kind of had the ladder is kind of in the middle of the room, which it was probably a little, that's probably a little off. I don't think I've ever really seen an older house, you know, where they had the ladders and stuff. I don't think there was ever in the middle of the room, because they usually used, you know, a wall, like a solid wall to climb up to get up there, or in some cases they had really tiny tight staircases that definitely make me fall down them for sure, because they were so steep. But the ladder, I guess in a way, it probably is a little bit out of place, and like I said, I got that beam there to try to give the illusion or the look of it holding the second floor up. As you would have seen at the beginning of the video, I did struggle a little bit with getting the loft area to look right. Like I said, I wanted something a little bit to be up a little higher. After all, they did use, you know, fireplaces a lot for the heating, and that would allow the heat to rise and then heat the bedroom upstairs. So that's what I'm trying to do, is I'm trying to create that look and trying to get the loft areas, but for whatever reason for this house, it just didn't quite turn out the way that I had hoped. So, but I mean, it is what it is. It's a starter home. So, but yeah, but there's your little garden. I just kind of picked the basics, just a few. It's actually a pretty decent sized garden, I think, for the Sims. So your Sims will definitely not starve. They'll be able, be able to pick their tomatoes and eat them. And then I think I got lettuce in there, and honestly, I don't remember what else. I think the other options that I have to choose from, let's see, there's tomatoes, there's onions, bell peppers, and there might be potatoes. There's a few things, I think. I'm trying to put like the main, I guess, stuff that you might have instead of the, other kind of items. Like, I don't know about I haven't really been putting in very many seasoning type of stuff. Like, I think the one house has some garlic and onion, but I don't really remember what I put in there either. So, but your Sims should be able to start living here and, be able to hopefully live without having to go to town too often to buy anything there. But of course, if you play in this world with cars and stuff, that won't be as big of a deal. The roads are there if you want to have the cars. So they will be there. So you will be able to use them. But it does at least give you the option if you want to go ahead and, try it where you don't have any cars at all and see how that works. So I did put a poll out on my community page here on YouTube to see, how many would be interested in me putting in the pets pack into this world. Currently, that is not a requirement. So based on the poll, it looks like the majority, or pretty much everyone who voted, would like to have the pets pack included. And I would agree. I didn't really give it a thought when I was first doing this world, but it would be kind of nice to be able to include. Okay, so if you didn't just notice, one of my kitty cats has decided to join us and has decided to put her vocals into the video. So, but anyway. Good thing the video is almost done, because now she's talking because I'm talking, and she's got to be center of attention. But anyway, I am going to go ahead and put the pets into the world so we can have horses, and that way they can use them for traveling as well. And I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Hopefully you enjoyed the talking of my redheaded kitty here who can't seem to stop, and she is doing her best to make herself known. But I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye.